Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah wa ba'd. As for the hadith of today, I'm skipping to hadith number 1246 because today is the first day of Muharram. So this is in chapter 225. عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. So the Prophet, the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings be upon him, said, أفضل الصيام بعد رمضان شهر الله المحرم. That the best fasts after Ramadan is in the month of Allah, Al-Muharram. So the Messenger of Allah is saying outside of Ramadan, which are the required fasting, the best time to do additional fasting in terms of throughout the month, as much as possible, is in this month. And the Messenger of Allah, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said this is Shahrullah. It's the month of Allah. Meaning that it's a special month. Allah has declared this month to be one of the special months. And Muharram is one of the sacred 4 months that have been mentioned in the Quran. So those sacred 4 months are the times where fighting was prohibited for people, and it still remains prohibited in that time, to grant safety of journey between different places. But one way of commemorating that, and this is right after the month of Hajj, one way of commemorating that is to make fasting special during this month. So the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he used to fast a lot during this month. He said, وَأَفْضَلُ الصَّلَاةِ بَعْدَ الْفَرِيضَةِ صَلَاةُ اللَّيْلِ. He said the best prayer after the obligatory, the mandatory prayers, is the prayer of the night. Meaning extra prayers at night, like Qiyamul Layl, Tahajjud prayers. Rawahu Muslim. So this hadith has been narrated by Muslim. So Muharram is known by people for 3 things. Number 1, it's known, 4 things. Number 1, it's known as one of the 4 sacred months. Just because it's one of the 4 sacred months doesn't make it Islamically special. The sacred months specifically meant that you don't quarrel and you don't argue and you don't get into, so there's an Islamic legitimacy to it. It's mentioned in the Quran. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that all of the 4 months are equally open for having the virtue of fasting. So it's important to understand that. Number 2, it is a month in which the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam encouraged us to fast extra. So it has an extra special significance to it. Fast as much as you can in this month. Number 3, it's the new year. So Muharram is the beginning of the new year. Now Islamically, the new year, was not celebrated by the companions, not celebrated by the Prophet ﷺ. They wouldn't walk around and say, hey, Happy New Year, Happy New Islamic Year to you, and something like that. So there's nothing Islamic about it, right? But if somebody says, you know what, I've been looking for an excuse to make some changes in my life. I tried on January 1st, and the average New Year resolution fails within day 17 or something like that. I forgot what the stat was, right? So you say, I need another chance. You can peg this and say, this is my opportunity. I'm going to start a new Islamic year. I'm going to, eat healthier. I'm going to spend more time with my kids. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. There's nothing wrong with that. As long as you understand that there's no Islamic significance to the new year. So if you want to say Happy New Year to somebody, as long as you don't think it's sunnah, it's not a bid'ah then. It's just like saying, hey, have a nice week or something like that. That's perfectly fine. And the last thing about the month of Muharram is, we're going to talk more about Ashura, but some people believe the month of Muharram is unlucky. And this is a superstition. They think it's unlucky because one very important person who's beloved to us, he died in this month. And therefore some people have said it's unlucky to get married in this month. It's unlucky to do travel in this month. It's unlucky and it's bad if you do such and such thing. These are all superstitions. There's no basis in Islam for that. If you walk under a ladder, nothing's going to happen to you. If a black cat walks by, nothing's going to happen to you. If you break a mirror accidentally, nothing is going to happen to you. These are all superstitions which Islam came to eliminate. Be careful of some people coming and inventing new things about the month of Muharram that have some negative connotation. In fact, it's a special month. It's a month where you're supposed to be worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala more, fasting more, and it's one of the sacred months. So I'll talk more about this and about Ashura and about what all of that signifies in the coming days. But this is what I wanted to say about Muharram. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us to understand this. Ameen. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Assalamu alaikum.